So you've probably heard the phrase, an apple a day keeps the doctor away, but is there any truth to that? And what about apple juice? Does it have the same nutritional benefits as apples? To get these questions answered and more, stay tuned. According to the US Department of Agriculture, apples in whole and in juice form are the most commonly consumed fruit in the US. If we only look at fresh fruit, bananas actually come out on top, followed by apples, grapes, and watermelon. So it's fair to say that as a nation, we do consume a lot of apples, but are these apples doing anything for our health? It turns out that apples are actually great for a lot of reasons, and I'll be covering 3 of the main ones in this video. First, I'll be talking about the antioxidant content of apples, given that this is the basis of a lot of the health benefits that apples actually give us. Then I'll discuss heart health, type 2 diabetes, and some forms of cancer. This chart compares various fruits in terms of their antioxidant richness. Cranberries are far above all of the other fruits, but apples come right after them and surpass other popular fruits like strawberries and lemons. The amount of antioxidants you get from your apple is also impacted by which variety you choose. Cortland and Empire varieties, as you can see here, have the least, and Fuji apples have almost 2 times more antioxidants than both of these. Slicing apples and allowing them to sit until they get brown actually reduces the antioxidant content. This is because exposure to oxygen causes the antioxidants, among them vitamin C and various polyphenols, to become oxidized. So it's as if they get used up before they can enter your body and combat oxidation there. Alright, so now on to the first health outcome, heart health. Studies have shown that apples are wonderful for heart health because they help to improve endothelial function. Now, endothelial function is just one of the many ways that we can measure how well your blood vessels are working. Apples help to improve endothelial function because they're so rich in polyphenols. Okay, I used the word polyphenols earlier, but I have not yet told you what they are. Polyphenols are basically these plant chemicals that aren't vitamins, aren't minerals, aren't really essential, but they help to optimize our health by boosting the antioxidant capacity of our bodies and thereby helping our systems to be more effective at fighting inflammation and reducing oxidative stress, which causes all types of damage. Apples are rich in a class of polyphenols called flavonoids. This diagram gives a great summary of how apples protect the cardiovascular system. Flavonoids improve endothelial function and reduce blood pressure. These 2 things then lead to more blood flow to the brain and the arms and legs, and ultimately may help to reduce the risk of heart disease and stroke. There is also evidence from clinical trials that consuming apples on a regular basis for 4 to 8 weeks can help to reduce total cholesterol, LDL cholesterol, and triglycerides. Big caveat, this does not appear to be true for apple juice. So in several research studies, they have compared not just the effects of apples, but also apple juice within the same study. And they found that apple juice in some cases can actually make your LDL levels, the so-called bad cholesterol, go up. So to answer the question that I posed earlier on in the video, apples and apple juice do not necessarily have the same health effects. It does seem to be the case that many of the benefits that we get from apples have to do with the fiber content of apples, which of course gets discarded in the juice making process. Alright, so now what about type 2 diabetes? It turns out that the fiber and polyphenols in apples can actually help to reduce the risk of someone developing type 2 diabetes and help to mitigate some of the symptoms. To summarize the research findings, apples have been associated with reduced inflammation, lower blood sugar, less weight gain, especially from fat, a healthier gut microbiome, which is that balance of microbes that live in your gut and keep you healthy in many, many ways. I'll save that for another video. And as I mentioned earlier, apple consumption has also been linked to a lower risk of developing type 2 diabetes. Now on to the third health outcome, cancer. Several studies support consuming apples daily as a way to reduce cancer risk. They do this in theory by inducing apoptosis or programmed cell death of cancerous cells and by keeping cancerous cells from replicating and spreading. I want to be really careful as I share this information because most of this research that has been done on the association between apples and cancer has been done in petri dishes and in animals. These studies are helpful, but we don't quite know yet how these effects translate into a living, breathing human organism. Fortunately, we do have some data from case control studies in humans that do suggest that consuming apples can reduce one's risk of developing colorectal cancer and lung cancer. What is a case control study, you ask? Well, this is basically the type of research study where we compare people who have similar demographic characteristics like education level, age, or income, and then look back in their history to see what differences can be detected that might explain why one person developed health outcome A when the other person did not. This is a type of study design that was among those that were used to determine that smoking was indeed associated with lung cancer. Now, to summarize, apples do appear to be beneficial for taking care of our hearts, reducing the risk of type 2 diabetes, and preventing certain forms of cancer. And whenever possible, choose whole apples over apple juice because they don't necessarily have the same health benefits. Alright, so that is it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. If you learned anything new or think that someone that you care about could benefit from this information, then definitely give the video a like, subscribe for more nutrition content, and follow me on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Pinterest, or TikTok, any platform you like for more day-to-day type inspiration for healthy living. Take care.